Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ क्लास 10th बॉयज़ हाई स्कूल बदरहर आज एक बार फिर अपना सब्जेक्ट यानी साइंस पढ़ने जा रहे हैं। क्योंकि आज जो हमारा चैप्टर है वो है चैप्टर नंबर 3। वी स्टार्टेड इट टुडे and the chapter is metals and non-metals. So in this regard, today our topic is introduction about the topic metals and non-metals and the physical properties of the metals. Dear students, you all know that we have read the classification of the elements, and in that very chapter we learned that there are 118 elements known so far, and if we take out of 118 elements, 94 elements are naturally occurring, while as 24 are synthetic elements. Out of 94 naturally occurring elements, there are a few examples like oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide, and from the 24 synthetic elements, there are a few examples like promethium and plutonium. So, on the basis of physical properties of the elements are classified into three groups here, that is metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now, according to the topic metals and physical properties of the metals, we are going to our topic, what are metals? If we think there are some elements out of 118 elements which are hard in solid state, opaque, shiny and have good thermal and electrical conductivity, such elements are called metals. So out of 118 elements, 91 elements are metals like iron, copper, aluminium, silver and gold. Now, what are the physical properties of these metals? Number one, physical state. In generally, the elements which are called metals are solid at room temperature. For instance, iron, copper, aluminium, silver and gold. However, there is an exceptional case, that is mercury, which is liquid at room temperature. Clear? Number two, luster. These metals are shiny in appearance because of the light reflecting surfaces. Almost all metals shine, so it is said to be that the metals are lustrous. Number three, malleability. These metals are beaten into sheets. This is known as the malleability. Gold and silver are most malleable metals known. Now there is number four, physical property of the metals, that is ductility. Metals are drawn into wires, long wires. This is known as ductility. So metals are ductile. If we think gold is the most ductile metal among all metals, if we think 1 gram of gold can be drawn into a thin wire 2 kilometers long. 1 gram of gold can be drawn into a thin wire which is about 2 kilometers long, and 1 gram of silver can be drawn into a thin wire 2 meters long. So gold is the most ductile metal known. Hardness. Metals are generally hard. The hardness of the metals depends on metallic bond, which varies from metal to metal. For instance, iron, copper and aluminium are very hard, while as sodium and potassium are soft metals due to their weak metallic bond. Now, number 6, density. If we see the density, mass per unit volume of the metals, it is very high. So the density of the metals is high. So the metals are heavy. Iridium and osmium are very hard, have very hard density, but sodium, potassium have low density. Number 7, melting point and boiling point. if we see this physical property of the metals, all metals have high melting point and boiling point, but tungsten is the highest, has the highest melting point. The tungsten is a metal used in the lamps which does not melt, which is very thin wire, so its melting point is very high. Copper also has high melting point, but sodium, potassium have low melting point. Gallium and cesium are have very low melting point. Number 8, thermal and electrical conductivity. All metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, so their thermal and electrical conductivity is very good. Number 9, sonority. Sonority indicates the sound producing nature of the metals. We know that all the metals produce sound, so the metals are sonorous, that is, they produce sound, have sound producing capacity, so all the metals are sonorous. This is about the introduction of the chapter number 3, metals and non-metals, and the physical property of the metals. Hope you have got this lesson very well. Thanks.